Have you ever wondered what types of systems you're actually supposed to have as a multi-passionate CEO for each of your businesses? If you've been wondering, you're gonna want to keep watching this video. All right, so hey guys, welcome back to the Altitude Lounge. I am Charmian-Marie Beadle, your coach and your host. And today we're going to be talking about specific systems that you're going to want to have in each of your businesses as a multi-passionate CEO. Now, I definitely want to start this with a disclaimer and let you know that, based on the business model that you have, there are going to be other systems that you're going to want to introduce because you want to build systems that are aligned with your business model, right, to make sure that your specific type of business is moving forward in the best way possible, right? So me sharing this video is giving you the fundamental systems that every business should have. But if it is that you want more insight in terms of other systems that you could implement, clearly we're going to either have to have a conversation, or you can actually benefit from my resources linked down below, right? So let's just get into it, shall we? So first and foremost, and I feel like this kind of goes without saying, you're going to want to have a financial management system. Yeah. Right? Now, in that financial management system, and I mean, this is just a reminder, a system is a collection of processes that, are put in place to achieve specific goals. And the processes are a collection of tasks that are, working together to, achieve a specific process, right? So think of a funnel, right? Tasks, then you get into processes, and then you get into systems, right? Well, yeah. Right. So I hope that's very clear, right? I must say I tend to use funnels a lot for when how I'm like explaining things. So hopefully you get used to it, right? Anywho, so yeah, you're gonna want to have a financial management system. So in your financial management system, right, you're gonna have different processes. So one of the processes is payment processing. Another one is actually budget management. Another one is I would say general bookkeeping, right? And maybe I'm missing one or two, but those are the main ones, especially in your financial management system. You want to make sure that, especially in your bookkeeping, you're keeping track of your income and expenses, and you're also keeping track of your taxes, like the thing that you want to put aside, or the funds that you need to put aside to pay your taxes and stuff. And then also then that feeds into the type of income or the amount of income that then becomes your profit, because all of those other things, like your income is of course more than your expenses ideally, right? And then of course from your profit you then budget in terms of what you're able to spend, maybe on advertising or monthly subscriptions that are a part of your business overheads and stuff. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, and then of course your payment processing, it's literally processing your payments. Like, which payment processor are you gonna use, or processors, right? Like, especially here in Jamaica, I will say that I am literally signed up with about five different payment processors, because of just how weird it is receiving money from international clients here in Jamaica and the Caribbean overall. So yeah. So that's your financial management system. And I mean, of course, you can get more granular, but those are the three main ones that do, roll off the tongue right away. Now, next system, so system number two, is your client management system, right? How exactly are you going to be interacting with your clients, once they have hired you, and once, you are interacting with them to then achieve the goal of or the result that they hired you for, right? So that would mean then that you need certain processes to be taken care of under specific heading. So one major process is, project management. How are you guiding people along where that is concerned? Communicating with them or whatever, making sure that they know what's coming next, that kind of a thing. It can be daunting, especially given the type of services that you do offer. But I promise you, like, when you're able to keep persons abreast of, how things are going in your project and stuff, it really does help, especially on that communication factor and in terms of management of expectations, right? Which is very important, right? Also, so that's the overall project management process. But even before you reach project management, even before you reach project management, There's also client onboarding and offboarding, right? So, I mean, a client onboarding is clearly one set of processes. Client offboarding is clearly another set of processes. But you want to make sure that you're very clear as to communicating expectations, loading them up into the specific tools that will be required to push the project forward, like things like that. And that's actually like right before you get into the general management of the project anyway, right? And then offboarding clearly means that the project has ended, whether prematurely or has reached its natural end, and that there are certain things that you need to hand back over, maybe some final files or something, a checklist to make sure that they've gotten everything that they needed. Like, we can get really granular, you get what I'm saying? But you want it to be that your client experience system or your client management system really gets really into the nitty gritty, so that there's no room for misinterpretations and stuff. Now, granted, we're all human, and so there is a propensity to misinterpret things here and there. But as much as is in your control, do your very best to make things black and white, and do your very best to be absolutely clear where that's concerned. And if it is, though, that you've done your best to make things clear and there is still misinterpretation, at least let that not necessarily be on you, because you've done your best to make things clear, right? Maybe you put things in writing, you put things in video form, you put like the full gamut, and maybe it might seem like you're going overboard. No, like, you can never be too clear about something, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, so that's system number two. System number three is an overall brand management system. And I know that not many people put this in place, but I think it's important for you to put it in place to allow you to remember that there's a brand to be managed, right? Or there are brands to be managed, right? And in managing a brand, it means that you're keeping up to date with the vibe that you want to be approaching your business with, or representing rather your business with, right? So even the photos, right? How are you going to manage those assets? Your logo, your fonts, your like, so that's brand design aspects. So what's the process of managing the brand assets themselves? What's the process of actually managing the other things that represent your brand, in terms of your brand voice and your brand story, your brand core, like just the overall messaging of your brand? What's that process? Is this going to be for the next 6 months or this season of your business, or are we going to extend it to a year? Like, yeah. So what's the system of evaluating that? What's the system of evaluating whether or not your brand messaging is actually hitting the right people and stuff like that? So you need to document those processes in that system. You get what I'm saying? So that's system number three, right? Next thing, no, we want to talk about your administrative or operational systems, right? And these are the systems that allow you to recognize, or this is the system that allows you to recognize the mini tasks or the menial tasks that are actually your big tasks, right? So that's the sending of the emails that's necessary. That's the okay, cool, which platform are you going to host certain things on? It's really just working on delivery and ensuring that you are effectively moving the projects forward, even beyond the client. So it's not even just to do with your clients, it's also moving your business or your efforts forward in a general sense, right? So it encompasses or encapsulates all of those different things. And so you're going to want to get very specific as to maybe the thing that you're focusing on. So maybe that's working on your business and stuff. And then you definitely highlight the different things that need to be done to make sure that your business is functioning. And then also in your business, which is for your clients, and then you highlight the different things that need to help you to function effectively for your clients, right? So that's your administrative or operational system that you need to work on figuring out. Then no, so sometimes I split this, and I feel more comfort splitting it, but it can be joined. And I mean, I'm sure maybe you're guessing by now, but your sales and marketing system, or your sales system versus your marketing system, and maybe you can understand like why it might make sense to just join it, or sometimes why it makes sense to separate it, right? The truth is, your sales feed into your marketing, and your marketing feeds into your sales. So they're intrinsically linked, but they are still meant to be separate, right? And you really want to document, especially since you are in digital. Technically, marketing means digital marketing, and sales means digital sales. And sales tends to, incorporate lead generation and things like that. But lead generation is that perfect gap between or linkage between your sales and your marketing, right? Your marketing then helps to bring leads to your doorstep, and then your sales is the thing that converts those leads. You get what I'm saying? Or your sales efforts. So marketing, lead generation, and sales, it all kind of comes under one umbrella. But yeah, you want to know what you're going to be doing for your marketing efforts, what you're going to be doing for your lead generation, and what you're going to be doing for your sales. And then you just get into that nitty gritty. You get what I'm saying? And yeah, so those are your fundamental systems, I would definitely say. You want to have those documented. And by now, you can recognize, why those are your fundamental systems and why they belong in every single business, no matter what you do, like whether you sell products or you sell services and all of those things. So if nothing else, I pray that you have taken note of each of these systems. And if it is that you do want to go deeper, maybe you have these in place already, or you want to just understand when I say like nitty gritty and like, all of those things, check out the links below because I do have a few resources for you. And, yeah, get ready to experience that transformation for your business and that clarity. Because, of course, remember, your systems do provide you with clarity as it relates to how to approach your business, seeing what gaps exist, seeing how you can automate things, seeing how to actually select tools and which tools would better suit your business model. Like so many things, there's so many benefits of having systems. So I pray that this video gave you like a little head start or a little reminder as to the specific thing that you need to focus on for your systems, so that you can then begin that deep dive. All right. So with that said, thank you so much for watching. And if you do have any comments or questions, feel free to drop them below, or send me an email at hellocoachc@gmail.com. Of course, the information is still linked down below. But yeah, just let me know and I'll be more than happy to respond to you. All right. So thank you again for watching. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.